it's a great example of the broadness of everyone that gets served in any service industry. And ADT, very much a service provider, previously ran on a lot of other people's technologies, a lot of other people's products. And we made the decision several years ago before I joined to start that transition into a product and technology org, where we were building our platform, had our tools and other partner tools that were embedded in a way that allowed the company to be more agile, be more responsive, and kind of lean in to being a very different company than the service provider that, quite frankly, had been running a lot of the same plays for a number of years. And some of this was competitively driven as others came on board with either a more DIY, do-yourself capability or a prettier technology or different capabilities. And so biggest part of that transformation, as I think about the lessons that I've learned, is we talk about things like digital strategy or transformation strategies, or and these are conceptual exercises. I think that individuals think there's a subcommittee on the IT team that are solely responsible for driving what the strategic mindset will be going forward. And that's not the case, right? It is actually a full encompassment of an organization. It's about details. It's about processes and understanding end-to-end process build. It's understanding where the errors in that process come from. It's understanding your data and how the data starts to indicate the truth versus understanding like the gut intention of your team members. And it's about getting talent that understands how to think in a product mindset, and not just we have X number of calls, we need less than X number of calls next year, or we need Y more leads next year. And it's an end-to-end envisioning of the way that you approach your business. And so when we started thinking about this, it was about kind of getting to parity with some of our existing operations and where some of our competitors were from a product offering. And then it was about, okay, now that we have a framework to operate on, how can we do really cool and exciting work that will both engage our consumers, but also attract the type of talent that's going to help us get better and smarter. And so like one brief example is, if you come into my home today, or if I were on an airplane flying across the country today and there were a water leak in my home, not only would I be notified of that, but now I have the ability to notify my neighbor that there's a water leak. And then they could come to the front door and have the front door opened based off of their being recognized by the camera and by the device in their pocket. And they would be, the alarm would be turned off so that they'd have the ability to come into my home and turn the water off under the sink that was having the leak. In the past, ADT would have only had a relationship with the first responder, and this certainly doesn't meet the first responder's requirement. Or maybe you would get notified and could call a neighbor, and hopefully they have a key or they can find an unlocked window and be able to step into that. Well, the product mindset it takes in order to drive kind of problem to a solution that no one had envisioned using a number of components is not a skill that everyone has. And quite frankly, it's not a skill that every organization has. And we had to start building out not just people that could envision that, but then people that could build it and then deliver it. And then the change management that was necessary to both change how we behaved as a company and how our customers were going to behave, because it's a little unsettling when you start talking about a camera that can recognize you through biometrics and then perform an activity like opening up your home. And can you trust somebody to that level?